Hey guys, I'm S. Stan Wolf. Welcome back to the channel. I remember one of you guys, I was looking for the comment, but I don't know if it was on YouTube or Instagram or Twitter, but when we were talking about what to expand, like, now that the castle's in place, the first coaster's in place, I did not know what to freaking do here. I was just stuck for like a couple months. I didn't know what to put back here. And one of you guys said, why don't you try a steampunk area? You don't have to go like, full on massive steampunk area, but kind of, maybe subtly expand on that could be a fun idea. And it just took me a couple months to kind of get back into it, but that's exactly what we did with this little area. And I was able to actually save my Hyperion, remember when I was on like a little Discovery Bay type kick, Disneyland Paris, just, kind of creating things that, never didn't get to see its full potential. Well, this was one of those things. And I just thought it fit in perfect with some of these blueprints that I found. And I thought, what better like little ride back here to not let me mess it up with like a big coaster, but to do like an implied dark ride. And that's exactly what we're doing. So this whole little show building back here, it's kind of like faced with Woody's steampunk clock. We've got Major X's Chief Beef. I found that on the workshop. And then paired with my Hyperion airship hangar, I just thought, what an awesome e-ticket attraction for a steampunk land. And on top of all that, you guys probably know what I'm about to say, it's gonna save frame rates. And we've got Mad Max's like little steampunk sawmill here, and just the whole little area back through here. I think it just works out perfect to pull people back there like, oh my God, what in the world? We have to go back there and ride that. And to have like the park's first e-ticket like dark ride attraction, what better than to have like like an implied airship hangar. We've got this little guy out here with some park maps and some info, and I found these little airship signs on the Theme Maker's Toolkit workshop, and we've got my old King Candies, which was always kind of themed a little theme punkish. So we've got marshmallows and kind of like a big candy shop right here. This is what I was showing off on Twitter a couple days ago. I just put this in as like maybe they're filming some kind of little commercial with the facade, with the big Hyperion facade in the background. Thought that was really, really fun. And yeah, so I've got to get back here and kind of dress up the entrance. I kind of haven't really started on it, but I just kind of wanted to put a door there to imply you where people would go in to kind of make their way to the queue of the big implied dark ride. And I think that's just going to work out so freaking cool. But one question I have for you guys is, what do you think we should do as far as this land goes and making your way out of it? So I don't know if like we should make this just dead end back here. Like, okay, you make your way back here to the back of the dark ride. That's what pulls you back. That's what's kind of pulling you to explore back here. And okay, do I essentially wall this off? And this is where, this is what you come to explore, and then you make your way back out of the land? Or do we make an exit back here to where whatever we decide to eventually do out this way, they don't have to make their way back out to like the main island path? So definitely kind of give me your thoughts on that. And then of course too, we've got a little tunnel right here that can bypass the steampunk land. But do we make it to where if you want to pass this up and just make your way further back into the park, do we do that? Or do we essentially wall this off right here and you solely make your way back through there, either to ride the Aeronauts ride, which I don't have hooked up yet, or of course go into the land's big e-ticket attraction? So, like, as far as the layout goes, I love how we were able to move past the big lagoon here and move past the uh, the castle, and we've got something back there now. I think that's what's really making me really want to dive back into this project again. Is we finally have an answer back here, instead of it just being hills and a big open green spot. So, we definitely have some area to work with, but that is like my biggest wonder right now. Do we cap it off, or do we make it to where people can go through here and just pass through the land if they want and not actually have to come all the way back out? So definitely leave me your thoughts on that. And over here, we've moved the orca kind of over here, where the where the large shark is caught at, over here by Jaws' elevator company. And then of course we have like this little kind of like family, almost like kid coaster back here in this little kind of like a little explorer dig site. Really, really fun little family coaster. Not too intense. We've got your guest services building. This was another thing that I was kind of hinting on in the little update video, but I thought it would be really, really cool to have a perk of the resort have actually like a little people mover. And the perk of the resort was you wouldn't have to come down here to fight the big crowds to actually get into the theme park and go through the big things of security if you didn't want to. A perk of staying at the Palm Island, and by the way, I found a really cool, I'm not sure who made it, but I think we need to call this place, remember, we've never really named it, but I thought Palm Island, when I found this sign on the TMTK workshop, worked perfect because we have palm trees all over the place here anyway. So I thought Palm Island worked out really, really well. And so anyways, back to the point, you pay all this money to stay in this resort, and I thought one of the cool perks was, what if we brought you down via the people mover and you had your own little private entrance area that you came out of and did your own little security, really quick little security checkpoint, quick ticket scanning. And once you make your way off of the people mover, you just dump out right here into the park, almost kind of secretly. You're not kind of over here where all of the guests would be flooding in. You make your way up to one of the upper levels of the resorts in the station, and you hop on the little people mover, and it takes you right down into the heart of the park, and you kind of just come right out and kind of get to skip the crowds. And then, of course, I thought we could do things like, early ticket hours, early palm hours and stuff, where you could get in like an hour before the regular guests can. And then, of course, stay an hour later. We've got the Shark Lagoon Cafe over here kind of set up facing the front facade of the castle now. And I just feel like this park has so much more life now. We've got so much more going. We've got some fresh popcorn over here. We've got the big fantasy tree right here. And it really feels like the park is having some direction now and some branching, instead of us just continuously kind of looking around this lagoon. We've got some really, really fun expansions going on now via that steampunk land, and getting us a, like an implied e-ticket dark attraction over here. So that was kind of really, really fun to come up with and lay out and get some of these different facades. And of course, Woody's just killer steampunk time machine kind of drawing you back there. And just such a fun, like, engaging project now. Whereas before, like I said, I was just stuck on these little lagoons and just didn't really know what to move on to. But now I think we have a little bit of a sense of direction, a little bit, it's kind of like, it's been a long time since I've even sat at work and thought about coming home and playing Planet Coaster. And that's exactly what happened today. I'm like, man, I've got some ideas. We got to get home and clean some of this up and, get some more foliage in, work on some rock work. Just made the decision today. I thought this to add some brick to this path work. Just felt a little more, like gave it a little more of that steampunk vibe. We've got the stroller stands right here if you're making your way into some of the restaurants. And then, of course, another larger stroller drop off to, if you wanted to, pull the little tykes out and go into the dark ride and leave your strollers outside. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been up to. I've just been full on steampunk expansion back there. And then I've got some other ideas kind of going forward, maybe even through this gateway. I'm thinking maybe some kind of Western land, maybe even bring in some of those facades that we never, kind of like we used for Stables Rest, kind of like that, a little park that we kind of haven't touched in about 7-8 months. We can salvage some stuff from it for Palm Island just to kind of maybe get the Western juices flowing. And I just think that, I'm like I said, I'm just kind of full on board with this project again. I just feel like we're in a really good place with it, really good design, really good concepts. And just kind of, you guys have to let me know what you think. Have you been interested in this actual project, or is it one that you've kind of skipped over when you've seen that I've put it on your feed? Are you even interested in Planet Coaster at all anymore? Or, are you pretty much just kind of solely waiting on Planet Coaster 2? So yeah, just kind of let me know. Let me know what you guys have been up to, and if you even really touch Planet Coaster anymore. I know a lot of you guys are heavy on, well, the lighting just sucks compared to Zoo. It's just so hard to get into, and I would argue you're right, but I have found if you just give it a couple hours, if you can make yourself maybe just, come and sit down when you have some free time, maybe, on a Saturday morning, and just start designing with it again, I'm telling you, you will start cheesing. And, just when you start coming across all the different little scenery pieces that we have and the animatronics back here and the way the crowds flow, it's just the charm of it comes back and you stop thinking about Planet Zoo lighting. And, it's just weird to explain. But like I said, if you give it a couple hours, I think it's something that you could really, really see yourself getting back in. And I think it even gets you even more hyped up to wait and see if we get a Planet Coaster 2. So anyways, guys, I'll jump on out of here. Let me know what you think about Palm Island's newest steampunk expansion. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you. See you.